Hello, today we're going to be talking about Agreements Express and navigation. So when you come into Agreements Express, you will see the attached screen. With the screen, you will have navigation items on your left. You will see navigation items at the top, and we're going to go through those. With My Workspace, that is going to be your very own workspace. So if you create a landing page, that is where it will show up. Teams, you won't need to worry about that. That is more for the back office. Work groups. This is where when we in the back office load your items, we will create work groups for you, for each individual advisor or group. You will see only your own work group. So you'll click in that and it will show the accounts that are in your group. You might be able to tag items for upcoming, snoozed, close accounts, and then run some reports as well. You'll also see drafts, sent, active, done, and canceled. When items are initially done, input into the system, you will see them as drafts. Once you send them to the client, you'll see the sent. You might see active, meaning it's already been sent to the client and the client is in the process of reviewing. You might see done. Done is what, once everybody has signed, including compliance, it will be marked done. If we by chance have to cancel an account or a transaction, that's when you will see the canceled. Okay. You'll also, clients, you might need to go into every once in a while. Users, firms, transaction types, and tags you won't typically need. They are just there. Let's go across the type. If you need to search, you can click on search and you can click search by either transaction ID, clients, a client transaction type, or a firm, or a tag, or a date range. So if I wanted to click on a client, I can search for Smith. And if I have a Smith client, Smith would come up. In this particular case, I don't have a Smith client. Okay. So if I go back up top, you also have this group by case. This is very important because every transaction could have multiple transactions within it. So if you want to group all transactions into one suitcase, meaning one account will have all paperwork, you would group by case. This Rubik's Cube are some reports that you can run, or your personal settings. This is where if you had to change your password, if you needed to change your signature, server time, what time zone you're in, things like that. So just remember server time, your personal details. You can even set an out of office, okay? And you can assign other people if you're out of office, okay? So if you needed to change your credentials, you can also change your credentials, your security questions, and your password here as well. One important factor, some of you might be on the RIA side, where you'll eventually be using Pershing Advisor Solutions, Fidelity, TD, and eventually Schwab. This icon here, you'll click it, and you will switch over to independent financial partners. Once we get on the broker-dealer, your accounts will be loaded to broker-dealer independent financial partners. The RIA side will be marked with an I, whereas the broker-dealer side will be marked with a B. So be very, very careful which platform you are in. Okay? You also occasionally see these ellipticals, 3 dots. Sometimes those will give you different things. So let me see if I can find, let me go over to, so I can show you more navigation into a real case. And I am going to use this as an example. Here are some accounts. whereas it's in draft. What this indicates to me is that this is in the process of being worked on in the back office and or your office, so that it can be prepared to go to the client. Here's the done. That account is done, so I don't need to worry about that. I can close it. If you hover over in front of these done and draft icons, you'll see other icons. That's assign it to a work group. If we need to add somebody to collaborate, we can snooze an account. If we want to snooze, what that indicates is maybe I have sent this to a client. I don't expect it back for 2 weeks, so I can snooze it and it will show up in my snoozed area. And then as soon as that snooze time comes up, it'll show back up in my workspace. I can close an account. So these dones, I can close those accounts. Here's that 3-dot elliptical. And if you look at that, we have a resend, a forward, and add a tag. Add a tag would be, these are tags here. And it would be if I wanted to add a tag such as this is direct business or this is a brokerage account, things like that. I can add a tag so I can search for it easier. If I want to look at my transaction, it'll always be the little square with the arrow. Now turning on the suitcase, like I mentioned, group by case, it turns on little suitcases, and it does still tell me the account numbers, what type of an account, and the client name. It tells me how many account records there are, and then it will give me this open a transaction as well. For now, I'm going to leave the remainder for other sessions. If you have any questions whatsoever, you have a team here in the back office, Donna Harris, Jacob Novak, Tim Nguyen, who could help you answer any questions you have regarding navigation. Thank you very much.